Hey City, welcome back to the channel. It's a girl Remo, and I'm back with another reaction video. Today guys, I'm going to be reacting to US immigration, and this is It Begins, Texas border battle. Texas versus BidenAdmin. Tesla's Elon Musk supports. Protests erupts. Okay guys, before we get started, we have some amazing people watching us for the first time. If you are new here, hello, I'm Vera. I do reaction videos. You know something that you love, why not join Vera City? Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever a new video drops. And with that guys, let's get started.
The Texas National Guard is blocking the U.S.-Mexico border near Eagle Pass. As you can see, it has been fortified with razor and concertina wire.
A border shutdown in El Paso, Texas, as hundreds force their way onto the Paso del Norte International Bridge. Men, women, and children pushing Mexican soldiers out of the way in an attempt to enter the U.S. Customs and Border Protection responding with barricades and additional officers to stop the migrants. The crowd, including migrants from Venezuela seeking asylum, like this man telling our affiliate he's been waiting too long at the border and couldn't delay anymore. This is not the first time a large group arrives this way at the port of entry. In 2018, members of a migrant caravan attempted to force their way through the San Isidro port of entry in San Diego. The border there shut down temporarily as the migrants were stopped, the incident forcing officials to tighten security. But the border in that region still strained.
The state of Texas has been installing razor wire in Eagle Pass for years, and Shelby Park is at the center of that effort. But now leaders say even more is coming.
In the coming weeks, we'll be executing a four-phased operation to expand north and south of Eagle Pass, putting up additional barriers in order to fortify the border.
Today, protesters from around the country flocked to a small Texas border town to vent frustration.
No SB4! No SB4! No SB4!
They are screaming, chanting, really, no SB4. Now for the border crisis, a Texas group in Eagle Pass calling for the end of Operation Lone Star and the repeal of Senate Bill 4.
Yeah, so here we are at Eagle Pass, and we're going to be meeting with the sort of major officials and law enforcement responsible for the border, and you'll hear directly from them and see exactly what's going on for yourself. So with that, let's begin.
Yes, I'm Tony Gonzalez. I'm the local congressman here in the district. My district is 823 miles of the southern border, places like Eagle Pass, El Paso, Uvalde, Del Rio. We've been at the epicenter of this border crisis.
How many of the 4 or 5 million legal immigrants are sent back to their countries every year?
I'll give you an example. Here in Del Rio sector is one of 9 sectors, okay? We're getting over about 2,500 people coming over illegally a day. And we are repatriating or sending 0 back. Zero.
So
zero
zero is quite a small number.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's just literally 0. So
0.
Basically there's no repatriation.
What is happening is
this is insane.
What is happening is, at best, they will send people to other parts of the border. That's not back to where the country of origin. That's to Laredo or El Paso.
Okay.
In worst case scenario, and I want to bring in the mayor here, the worst case scenario is where they're at. You bubble to a point where there's nowhere else to send them. So what you end up doing is you release them into the street. Imagine what that does to your local community.
You know, you're telling me like sometimes people coming through are they have gang tattoos and they have the tear tattoo on the forehead. Like I'm not sure maybe that everyone knows what tattooing a tear on your head on your face means.
I visited. That's good. It's not good.
It's not good.
I visited. Just nonstop. I visited the facility here in Eagle Pass on Monday, and there was a guy that had face and neck tattoos and he had teardrops.
And a teardrop is when you kill somebody.
When you kill somebody, and then you wear it as like
a badge of pride. You're like actually happy that you killed someone,
right?
And you want people to know it,
right?
And when someone like that comes through and they say they're an asylum seeker, what do we do?
So I'm in there, and I asked the Border Patrol chief.
We're talking about basically a serial murderer.
Because he has multiple
serial murderer and proud of it.
Yes.
Yes.
This is not somebody you want babysitting.
No, subtle.
No, not at all.
Okay.
And so when I asked the Border Patrol chief, I go, hey, what's up with this guy?
Yeah.
And he asked him in Spanish, he goes, hey, have you ever been arrested before? He goes, oh, of course not. And he's like, no, I've never been arrested. And so what the Border Patrol chief said, he goes, we do not have records from people from Venezuela.
Sure.
So we can't track, unless they were arrested in the United States, we really don't know who some of these actors are. Elon, every White House has done that.
Okay.
Whether it was Trump, whether it was Obama, whether it was Clinton, whether it was Bush, every single White House has had a border issue, and every single one has had to handle it the same way.
Okay.
By essentially going, we can't let everybody in because it's going to overwhelm us. You're going to abide by the laws, and if you don't qualify for asylum, we're going to send you back. And as soon as you start doing that, it alleviates the stress. This administration hasn't done that.
Let's help Palestine out right now. They need food, they need water, they need medical supplies. No other country.
As far as I know, it's the first time in American history that a state has led the effort to prevent people from entering the United States illegally. Let's be clear. That's the job and the responsibility of Joe Biden and the federal government. There's only one reason why people were trying to enter illegally in the first place, and that's because they perceived the permission by the Biden administration to enter.
In the coming weeks, we'll be executing a 4-phased operation to expand north and south of Eagle Pass, putting up additional barriers in order to fortify the border.
The state of Texas has been installing razor wire in Eagle Pass for years, and Shelby Park is at the center of that effort. But now leaders say even more is coming.
We've gained control of this area. Now we're going to maintain that control as we continue to expand those operations to bring that same level of reduction across the border in the state of Texas.
Maverick County Sheriff Tom Schmerber says crossings have dropped in the Shelby Park area, but they're picking up in cities to the north and south.
And they're still crossing through there, not thousands like in December, but we'll get hundreds.
Which is why he thinks the governor wants more barriers in those areas.
If we don't maintain and expand our defense, those migrants and the cartels will exploit those openings.
Governor Abbott says more caravans of migrants are expected this spring, and when the cartels decide where to move people, he doesn't want them to choose Texas. Do you think that more razor wire is going to bring the numbers down lower?
No, I don't think those wires will help anyone. Those immigrants are determined to cross.
Schmerber credits the actions taken in Mexico for the dropping numbers. Officials are pulling people off of trains, conducting their own deportation flights, and more. Governor Abbott disagrees, saying it's the cartels, not the Mexican government, in control of the flow of migrants. Keep in mind, Texas and the federal government are still locked in a court battle over this razor wire. The Supreme Court recently ruled that Border Patrol can cut the wire while this case goes on, but they did not say that Texas couldn't continue to add to it. It's unclear how these new developments are going to impact that ongoing court case.
We are building a new Texas Military Department base camp that allows the Texas National Guard to increase and to improve operations in this area. What you see now is the first stage of construction has already begun on what is 80 acres of an area to be built out for this base camp.
Tonight, the situation at the southern border with Texas continues to escalate.
Thank you to my fellow governors. Half of America now is standing against the Biden administration, also more than a majority of all the attorneys general across the country. Biden is not taking on Texas. Biden is taking on the United States of America.
Greg Abbott is once again challenging federal authorities on the border. He's saying Texas has a right to self-defense because he believes the federal government is not doing enough.
Most incumbents don't lose elections. They get fired, and they get fired because they're doing a bad job. As you talked about, the immigration system and the border issue is the primary issue in America right now.
The Supreme Court is siding with President Biden in a dispute with Texas over the border.
A Supreme Court ruling is giving the federal government more flexibility here at the southern border. The justices ruling Monday that Border Patrol can cut and remove about 30 miles of razor wire installed along the Rio Grande by the state of Texas, escalating a political battle between President Biden and Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
And I want to express my gratitude to General Seltzer and the Texas National Guard for going above and beyond to make sure that they are showing the way that Texas will defend itself from the lawlessness that's been created by Joe Biden's refusal to follow the laws of the United States Congress and secure our border.
President Biden has given Texas to allow the federal government to remove razor wire from the border or face consequences. But Texas is standing firm tonight, laying additional wire again today. And their governor, Greg Abbott, saying he will continue to defend the state's right to secure the border.
Listen, we have been successful in reducing crossings in Shelby Park. One thing that we know is the cartels and the migrants will explore areas both north and south of that park. If we don't maintain and expand our defense, those migrants and the cartels will exploit those openings. We want to ensure that we deny the exploitation of those openings. Second is, as we all know, come springtime, there's going to be additional caravans that are making their way through the southern and central part of Mexico, deciding where they are going to be going. We want to make sure that when they come to the crossroad about are they going to go to Texas or are they going to go elsewhere, they will know the wrong place to go is the state of Texas. Efforts of the National Guard, they're working. Those aren't just my words. Those are the words of experts who have analyzed the data of what's happening on the border here, and they are saying that the resistance that the Texas National Guard has provided is ensuring that there is a reduced number of people crossing the border. So illegal crossings are down, and coincidentally, razor wire barrier is up, and we will continue to muster the efforts that are needed to make sure that Texas does the job that the United States Congress has mandated. The United States Congress has mandated for barriers to be built on the border. Biden is not building those barriers. Texas, however, is doing the job that Congress has mandated in law. And for that, I want to express my gratitude to the Texas National Guard for stepping up and getting that job done. It's not Mexico who controls the border. It's the cartels who control the border. The cartels operate completely independently, and they'll do whatever they want to do. If they want to cross, they'll cross, regardless of what the leadership in Mexico says. And because the cartels have realized they're having a harder time making money, facing the resistance in Texas, when there are gaping openings in Arizona, New Mexico, as well as California. And so, as is typical of almost any human being, if there's an easier way to get the same thing done, they're going to choose the path of least resistance. The cartels are choosing the path of least resistance. Texas Military Department Base Camp. This will increase the ability for a larger number of Texas Military Department personnel in Eagle Pass to operate more effectively and more efficiently. It will house up to 1,800 soldiers with the ability to expand up to 2,300 if we have surge needs. It will include individual rooms for soldiers. Now I'm going to call up the Adjutant General, General Seltzer.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, the governor is employing every available resource and strategy as he executes his known right to protect and defend the borders of Texas. What I want to say, first of all, is this is an expansion of what we're seeing from the Shelby Park events. We've shut down Shelby Park. This base that we're setting up here, Forward Operating Base Eagle, is an 80-acre complex that extends along the water in the Rio Grande and is situated about 6 miles south of Shelby Park. This base camp allows for the housing of 1,800 troops. As the governor has said, these troops will be housed in their own individual rooms with a minimum of 1,800 square feet of space. There will also be a surge capability for an additional 500 troops. Should we need to deploy the Texas Tactical Border Force to this area, we can deploy and house them right here on the border. In support of our troops, there will be facilities like a 700-seat dining facility. There will be weight and cardio center, a recreation center, and laundry facilities. To take care of our troops, there will be facilities where we can house our medical, psychological health, and also our chaplaincy programs. And for operations, we'll have 3 command posts on site. We'll have weapons storage rooms, vehicle maintenance bays, and also a FAA regulation helipad. But these are not the only operations that we're expanding under the governor's orders. In the coming weeks, we'll be executing a 4-phased operation to expand north and south of Eagle Pass, putting up additional barriers in order to fortify the border, as the governor has said, to the south and north of Eagle Pass. Additionally, we are adding 3 more fan boats to the river. We're also expanding our drone program and our radar truck capabilities. Again, thank you, Governor, for your leadership. The governor, the Texas Military Department, and the Texas Department of Public Safety, again, is using all available resources and strategy to protect the state of Texas. Thank you, Governor.
And now the Texas borders are my banks.
Good afternoon. I think the key thing you want to take away from this is that what we're doing by building this is we're providing a better quality of life for the soldiers. We're doing it, saving the taxpayers of Texas at the same time, while ensuring that we become even more efficient by having more time on target with these soldiers. So I want to talk about that. And then I want to talk about the numbers just for a minute. All right, prior to coming on, as many of you have heard, I spent many years in the Border Patrol, well over 23 years. And if you would have told me that Texas was going to be able to achieve what they've achieved just in the last year alone, I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have believed it myself, right? Even knowing what my capabilities are. But the very fact that you look at one sector in Tucson, Arizona, and every day for the last month and a half, that sector has out-apprehended and had more crossings than the entire state of Texas, right? If you look at 3,000 to 5,000, there was a single day when there was over 6,000 people that came through that border right there in Eagle Pass. And to see those numbers decrease the way they have, at the significant number they have, to where we've gone to 1% of what was crossing a month and a half, 2 months ago, I think it's phenomenal. It's a testament of what these soldiers are doing, what DPS is doing, and achieving what the governor has set out for us to achieve. And so I think what you're going to see is we're doing what you call gain, maintain, and expand. We've gained control of this area. Now we're going to maintain that control as we continue to expand those operations to bring that same level of reduction across the border in the state of Texas. And Governor, I applaud you for your leadership and the moral courage to stand up and do what this administration is not doing. It's just absolutely absurd to believe that we have to fight the federal government daily. You know, so it's either do the job that you've been mandated by Congress to do as the federal government, or just get out of the way and let us get it done, because Texas is going to protect Texas. And I thank you for that, Governor.
Thank you to Mike Banks, the Texas Border Czar, who, as you all know, and he just said, he served in the Border Patrol for 23 years. But the point I want to make is just during his time here today, he has spent more time on the border as Border Czar of Texas than Kamala Harris, the federal Border Czar, has spent on the border in Texas. Last thing is, once again, I want to express my gratitude to General Seltzer and the Texas National Guard for going above and beyond to make sure that they are showing the way that Texas will defend itself from the lawlessness that's been created by Joe Biden's refusal to follow the laws of the United States Congress and secure our border.
This is getting ridiculous. The United States needs to be really protected. The borders need to be protected. The borders should be secured. In all this now, I feel like enough is enough. There should be no more immigration, illegal immigration rather. There should be no more illegal immigration. The borders should be protected, should be secured. What do you guys have to say about this? What are your comments? Drop a comment down below. I really enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, give it a huge thumbs up and please share this video. And if you're new here, join Veracity. Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever a new video drops. And that's guys, see you in the next one. Bye.